I think as a performer, my biggest accomplishments, my biggest achievements is when people watch my act and come up to me and with tears in their eyes and say that they were inspired and blown away with what they saw. And then to see those same people a year down the track telling me what they've accomplished with their horses and indeed with their people in their lives and how it was life-changing to see what I did. I mean, that's amazing to think that a boy that started off as such a shy, feeling like such an insignificant human being is able to change people's lives. It's really special. I suppose my crowds have varied from 2 people in my father's Susan River Homestead Resort, you know, beside the fire, performing there, right up to 25,000 people at Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne Royal shows. I think over my career I've performed probably in front of 2 to 2.5 million people, and certainly to come to America I just know that can double and triple and so on. You turn up to one of my shows, expect to see things that you've never seen before, combined with the quality of horsemanship you'd expect from someone who does this for a living. My performance acts can range, I say, from 5 minutes all the way through to 2 hours. My 2-hour show is from education right through to entertainment, where I start a young horse and explain my methods right through first walk, trot and canter in a big open arena. And then the second hour would be devoted to the finished horse, to the other acts that I can do. Those acts can be broken down to be used in 5-minute rodeo demonstrations up to 20-minute horsemanship demonstrations for big equine affairs and that kind of thing. I have a fire act where I come out and show my best, most brilliant individual performing in a real theatrical experience where I light up fire pots on the ground and have stirring music. My stock whips, my tarp, my fire is the perfect stuff for the non-horse people because it's really catching mentally and emotionally. People come up to me and say how stirring it was. When I ride out and do my 4-horse act where I'm mic'd up, it's not so much a choreographed thing, but I get to perform and feel what the crowd is like. I spent 15 years in Australia performing in front of crowds right after the monster trucks and right before the fireworks. They didn't want to hear about a horseman, they wanted to be entertained. And so I've become the sort of entertainer that can feel that. And I can take a crowd and razz them up or bring them down again. And that's a gift that I really had to learn. Australia is a hard place to perform in front of. You have to be fairly entertaining and fairly good at what you do to get a clap. So to come to America where entertainment is appreciated, I'm really enjoying the responses and enjoying the way people can understand and enjoy what I do.
Me and my gang, yeah, me and my gang.
4 horses that I brought with me to America: Quiet Way Hope, Quiet Way Sequel, Quiet Way Pride and Quiet Way Spin Abbey. Quiet Way is my prefix back home. It's the name that I came up with to explain my breeding and my training methods. Quiet Way Hope is my number 1. He's the first horse I must put on the trailer. He's bridleless and saddleless. He's at liberty. I can lay him down and put 3 horses over the top of him, and in the act I call him the CEO. I say if he was a human being he'd be the head of some huge company, and probably not brilliant but driven. Quiet Way Sequel is a brother to Hope, and though I love Sequel, I love him with every part of my heart. He would be on the dole or in the welfare line. That's the sort of fella he is, but that sort of, I suppose, lack of drive allows me to put 3 horses over him. I put him in situations that a feely or really athletic horse wouldn't have been able to handle, and so I get to show that with horses and indeed with people throughout my act that everyone has a place. The next horse, Quiet Way Spin Abbey, he looks totally different to the others. He's not bred close to them at all. If he was a human being, I have no doubt in my mind that he would be one of the world's most finest athletes. He'd have Nike sponsoring him and he'd just be a superstar. But behind scenes, he's Jim Carrey. He's tearing up the other horses' rugs off and pulling the rugs over the top of their face, and the other horses don't like him because he is the teacher's pet. He's one of the most amazing individuals I've ever worked with. And Quiet Way Pride, she's only pushed her way into this team in the last 5 or 6 months. I introduced her in the show as a secretary. She's got these beautiful black lines down her legs. She's got black marks on her face like she's wearing makeup, and one of the shows I performed at, she couldn't take her eyes off herself on the big screen. You know, she's probably not the smartest horse I've worked with, but there's a real strength of heart in her, and she's totally locked onto me in my act and really adds something pretty to the team. The only thing that holds us back is our imagination. I'm asked about the best tools in horsemanship a lot, and people want to know if it's a dressage whip or a spur or a fancy bit. I believe the best horsemanship tools are knowledge, compassion, patience and imagination, and if you use those together you can build incredible horses.